This video is sponsored by Lingoda. Save 15% on language courses with code Rewboss1.
Railways and trains appear quite a lot in my videos, and it's not because I'm a rail enthusiast or a train spotter. I'm really not. It's just that Germany has a very extensive railway system, so there are trains everywhere. And I don't drive, so I do tend to take the train quite a lot. Also, because the construction of the railways was part of the Industrial Revolution, they shaped many of Germany's cities and also helped to bring trade, industry and prosperity to many rural areas. But now that the oldest parts of the network are over 150 years old, it is beginning to show its age. Lines that were built in the age of steam are not very good for modern high-speed trains, so there's a lot of upgrading to be done. Take where I live, which is in the northwest corner of Bavaria, not far from the main Frankfurt to Nuremberg line. This is one of Germany's busier railway lines, but it's also frustratingly slow. One problem is Frankfurt's main station, which is a terminus. Terminuses were easier to build nearer to city centres, but because trains can't travel straight through, they need more platforms and acres of track. If one train is slightly late, that can mess up the whole timetable. One section between Aschaffenburg and Würzburg is a real problem because it goes through the Spessart, a range of forested hills, so the track is incredibly twisty. It also goes through the Schwarzkopf tunnel, which was opened in 1854. But that has a speed limit of 70 kilometers an hour and no way of making it safe for higher speeds. Not only that, but there is such a steep climb from the village of Postfach to the tunnel entrance that an extra locomotive is on constant standby to give heavy freight trains a push uphill. Seriously, that's all it does. It pushes trains up to the tunnel mouth and then goes back down to Postfach to wait for the next one. So the big project here is to build new tracks with a much gentler incline. The old Schwarzkopf tunnel will be closed and filled in and replaced by 4 new tunnels, more than doubling the speed limit for this section. This is a major project and a lot more complicated than you might think. For example, before work could even get started, these power lines had to be raised for the safety of everybody concerned. On one day in October, they opened up to the public part of the almost finished Falkenberg tunnel and made a little festival out of it. This will change the face of the village of Heigenbrücken. The current station is of an old design that means that for safety reasons passengers cannot be allowed to wait on the platforms. According to the station master, this doesn't stop people actually standing on the tracks just to get pictures of the trains coming through the tunnel. With the new tunnel, the old station will be closed and a new station opened at the other end of the village. And the railway line that currently divides the village into two, with 200 trains a day, will be permanently closed and apparently turned into a railway experience park. At least that's the plan. At any rate, it will be a lot quieter. It's all due to be completed by late 2017 and it looks as if they might actually do it. Although, the way the universe works, you're probably watching this in 2019 and it's still not done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Lingoda, the online language school. What I really like about it is that you use the magic of the internet to attend virtual classes of about 5 students with real, live, human teachers. You can learn German or English or French or Spanish from qualified native speakers. Follow the link in the description and use the code Rewboss1 for a 15% discount.